is how to make a viral thumbnail for the 2025 algorithm. Here's what you're going to need. The video's title, that's it. Now before we jump into this, people think designing thumbnails is about making a nice looking thumbnail, but it's not. 80% of the results will come from the psychology of the thumbnail, not the design. And that's coming from a graphic designer. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I can't use Photoshop, and you use Canva or whatever, I don't care. It really doesn't matter. In this video, I'm not even going to open up a design program. The graphic design is just the sprinkle on top. Your main focus is the psychology. What are we going to put in the thumbnail? And to do that, I have a 3-step process. AKA, we have 3 games that we're going to play. By playing these games, we are going to create the best thumbnail possible. Also, just to point out, I won't be talking about saturation and contrast and BS advice like that. If you're hearing someone talking about saturation and contrast, it's just the 1% of the thumbnail. That stuff is to go from like 99% perfect to 100% perfect. It's really not that important for thumbnail design. But when you Google thumbnail design, or when you ask ChatGPT, or you watch most of these videos about thumbnail design, it's always use saturation. If it was that easy, everyone would go viral because you would just add saturation. So I hope this is a genuinely useful video about thumbnail design. All right, let's get into it. Point number 1, saturation. I'm kidding. That was a joke. All right, so I've just got Canva Draw open up here. The first game that we're going to play is the Pictionary game. Now, if you haven't played Pictionary before, basically the goal is you draw something as quick as you can, and then your team members try to guess what you're drawing. And the whole point is you have to draw it as quickly as possible. And basically thumbnail design is the same idea. What we need to do here is as quickly as possible convey the idea of the video so someone knows what the video is about. So let's just take an example. The video is about how to run faster. Thumbnail 1 here, A, where it's a person and they're holding up a hamburger or whatever that is. And then in video number 2, we have a close-up of someone running. Which one of these two do you think conveys how to run faster better as a thumbnail? It's obviously going to be thumbnail B. So your goal is to do the Pictionary game. So what you're going to do is take your YouTube title and you're going to think, if I had to draw this out to someone, how would I draw this out to someone as quickly as possible? What 2 or 3 elements do I need to show someone what this video is about? So if we take another example, how to get rich with stocks in 2025. Well, okay, I'm going to have this guy and we're going to have the stock market here and I'm going to say rich or whatever it is. So here we have this guy with stocks going up and the word rich. Cool, this guy is getting rich with stocks. So you understand the premise very quickly. So what you'll do is brainstorm a few different icons or elements that could represent whatever you're talking about. So if we just say rich again, we could do money. We could do a graph like this. We could do a stack of cash like that. There's a bunch of different ways that we could visually show that. And what you're going to do is just draw out these icons like you're playing a game of Pictionary. If we do one which is how to lose weight quickly, then you could have one where it's a person with a 6-pack. Cool, this person has lost weight. You could do maybe a scale. Is that what a scale looks like? Something like that. Pretend that's a scale. You could do a before and after. There we go. That's my before and after. That's awful. You get the point. Basically, to start with, play the Pictionary game and draw out what your video is about in icons. What would you draw if you were playing Pictionary to describe your video as quickly as possible? The next game that we're going to play uses this information. So we are actually now going to play the Jigsaw game. So Jigsaws is, you have piece number 1 and piece number 2, and they're all fitting in together like that. That's my drawing of a jigsaw puzzle. So basically here, what you're trying to do is find 3 possible ways to arrange what layout can you do to fit in all of these different elements together. So here we have the ABC thumbnail test, and we need to figure out how are we going to put this stuff in here. Let's just do this weight loss one here. So you have number 1, which is a 6-pack. We have number 2, which will be someone standing on scales. So here is someone standing on scales. And then here we have number 3, which is a before and after. And then you could have text here, you could have text here, and you could have text here. So what we've done now is taken these elements and arranged them. We're trying to puzzle piece them together so they actually fit onto a thumbnail. Because if your thumbnail requires 20 different icons to get the point of your video across, it's not going to be a very good thumbnail. By the way, if you're finding this useful, please subscribe. Now we have the last one, which is 20 questions. So what we're going to do here is actually use these three now. For 20 questions, if you haven't played that, someone thinks of a word and you get 20 questions to ask, and then by the end, you're going to try and figure out what word they have. Now, this doesn't work exactly like that, but it kind of works like that. So basically, what we need to do is figure out what question or what thing could we write in the thumbnail here that would get someone ruminating, that would open up a curiosity gap. So let's say that this video is called How to Lose Weight Fast. So now what we want to do is figure out what question could we add to this, or what text could we add to this to open up even more of a curiosity gap. So what text am I going to put here, here, and here? So what text could I add here that would make someone ask 20 questions when they hear it? So maybe we could do 1 kilo per day. That would make me ask a big question. Is that even possible? Could I do that? What would I need to eat? How much would I need to exercise? All of those questions. Or maybe my secret diet, for example. If I see someone standing on a scale and the numbers are going down and I see my secret diet, now I have a question. What's this secret diet? I need to know because I want to lose weight. Or maybe something like burn belly fat in 30 days. So now my question is, what's happening in these 30 days? What am I doing in these 30 days? And we need to ensure the thumbnail is working well with the title. These two need to complement and work together. But what I want you to do is to understand the fears and desires of your target audience for this video. And you need to think of text that you can add to your thumbnail that would make someone ask 20 questions. So with my secret diet, I would ask, how long do I need to be on the diet for? What's the diet? How many calories do I need to eat? How much protein do I need to eat? Am I allowed any cheat meals on this diet? All of this stuff. I'm going to have a bunch of different questions. And if the text you've chosen here isn't getting someone to ask 20 questions, then you might want to rethink that text. So by playing these 3 thumbnail games, we have a really good process for coming up with what's going to be in the thumbnail. The Pictionary game will help you to decide what elements do I need in the thumbnail. The Jigsaw puzzle game will help you to composite those different elements and what different layouts you could use to include all of the elements that you need. And the 20 questions game helps you to understand what text you should put in the thumbnail to evoke 20 questions from your target audience. They now know what the video is about, the brain can quickly and efficiently scan the thumbnail, and you've created a curiosity gap so someone will actually want to click on the thumbnail to find out the answer. Now, if you want to see me design a thumbnail from scratch, then click on this video over here where I do the full thing for a client. Or if you're wondering how to write a good YouTube title, then click on this video here where I go through the full framework on how to go viral. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.